Lesson 5, Quadratic Equations by Quadratic Formula. So first off, I want to look at our equation. We got to set it in the standard form, which is equals to 0, because we got to determine our first term, second term, and third term, which is A, B, C. So let me do this. First, I'm going to move these two to that side, because it'll be just easier. Opposite of positive is negative. Opposite operation, eta, and minus 3. What I do to one side, I'm going to do to other. So our equation is going to be, let me put it right here, 3m squared minus 8m minus 3 equals to 0. Now we could determine for our quadratic formula. I'm going to write that in on Desmos page in a minute. This is our A term, B, and a C. So we want to plug those into this formula. So let's click to Desmos. The way we know it's A term because it's the square power, B term is the first power, m to the first power, and last C is always the number. All right. Now here, I'm going to erase this, but I'm going to keep that. Now let's write my formula. This is the formula you need to know. That's a negative b plus minus square root. Now b squared minus 4ac over, the whole thing's over 2 times a. Okay, so this is our quadratic formula. All right, what we're going to do is plug it in. So I'm just going to type it in our Desmos. So first thing we're going to put is negative. What's our b? B is negative 8, so we have to use a parenthesis. Now, before you go any further, put division sign and go back up. Now, when we go back up, I'm going to move this negative back up too, because it ran off to the bottom. Now, we're only using one at a time, so let's use the positive first, okay? The top. So let's put plus. Now, square root, go to your keyboard. It's right there. I'm going to put b squared. Anytime you see a negative, please use parentheses. All right, negative 8. Close the parenthesis. Minus 4 times. Our a is 3. And our last one, c is negative 3. And now the bottom, 2 times a, so 2 times, what's our 8? 3. And let's double check something. See this square here? Gotta make sure we put that in. So let's double check ourselves always. Okay, there you go. Let's double check, make sure. So I got my negative. There it is, negative 8, plus, we're only using 1, I got my square, 4ac, good, okay, that's great. All right, that's our first answer, is 3, okay, great. Now, instead of typing all this up, all you got to do for the second answer, so jot down on your paper, or x equals 3, that's our first answer. Now, because it's going to change, so go to this plus, and just subtract. Now there's our second answer. Negative 333, and hit this round button here, and it gives you the fraction. See that? That's our answer number 2. X equals that. So there's 2 our answers for number 1. Okay, let's grab that. Let's go to number 2. I'm just going to stay on this form. Do not clear this, because it'll be so much easier if you just replace the numbers. So I'm going to stay on this screen. I'm just going to write your equation, your second equation, which was x squared plus 10x minus 2 equals 0. So that's our A, B, C. If you don't have anything, please write in 1. Okay, now let's change our numbers. So what's our B? 10. So we're just going to take the negative 8 out, put 10 in. It don't really matter if you want to do the minus plus. I'd just go with the plus always first. If you want to go with the minus, you can. All right. For our B again is positive 10. And our A is 1 this time. So change it to 1. And our C is negative 2. And don't forget to change the bottom also. So 2 times A, and that's 1. Okay, there's our, let's double check everything before we start. All right, looks like these are gonna be fractions. So let's see, let's look at their answers. And we'll just have to compare them. And if that doesn't work, then we have to work it out by hand. But let's see if we could let's see if we could do it without hand. All right, let's try one of these answers to plug them in and see if they match. Let's try -5. Let's try B. Just you know, I'm guessing if it's B. Let's see. Don't know yet, okay? So we got -5 plus 3, radical 3. So we put it here. -5 plus 3 square root 3. Look at that. Our answers match. We found our answer. See how easy that was? I'm good. I just guessed and I was right. So guessing is good, but please double check when you guess. Don't just guess, okay? So B was the answer. But let me plug in a wrong one just to show you the difference. Let's do D. That it wouldn't match. The decimals wouldn't match. So 6-3. So this is not the answer, but I'm going to just show you the way you see what I'm talking about. 6. See that? It did not match. So this is not the answer. So I'm going to click that off. Okay. Let's move on to number 3. So don't clear the top. Once you clear that, it's going to be harder for you. Now let me write the third equations up for you. So -4x squared plus 8x. And you have your worksheet in front of you in case my handwriting's off. That's all right. That's our B. That's our C. Okay, let's plug them in. And also, if you ever click off, there's an arrow. You could get your equation back. Okay, so our B is +8. So instead of the 10, let's put 8 in plus 8. 4A, what's our A? I is -4. And then C, -2. Oh, -2 is correct. And for the bottom, -4. Okay, we got 0.29. So let's see if we have any answers that we could compare them to. Let's go back to the worksheet. That's the one we're on. Yep. Okay, good. We have answers. Perfect. So we're just going to type them in and compare the decimals. Let's go with the first one, A. So 1 plus square root of 2 over 2. Let's put that one in. And the next line, don't clear it. So 1 plus, and it has a, now we have 1 square root 2, divide that, nope, I have to arrow out, see that? Push the little arrow button on your keyboard. And divide, there we go. So if that happens, just go back and fix that. 2. Alright, let's make sure. supposed to be on the, let me rewrite that real quick. See that? Gives us some really weird answers. I'm just double checking everything I can before I move on. Okay, so because when I worked it out by hand, I'll show you also. The worksheet, I'll show you how I worked that out. It gave me answer choice A. That's why I was double checking on decimals. So see that how they match now when I put the minus there? So don't worry about that one. I was just playing with it. See that? They match. So that would be our answer choice A right there. And I'm going to show you how I worked that out because I did do it by hand.